There has not been a Squaddie tier list from the perspective of a top-ranked player until now. Today, I am going to be showing you which Squaddies to use to absolutely dominate in ranked, and which ones you should never even touch. This is going to look a little different from traditional Squaddie tier lists, so go ahead, stick around, and enjoy it. For a traditional view of a tier list, wait for the end of the video. I'll pull one up for you to go ahead and get a screenshot of. Let's get right in. Starting off with Tails, overall fairly decent. With its Cyclone Walker, Tails has great damage, but ultimately not enough health to really be anything impressive. Next with Ice Wizard, we already know, not much health there, not much damage, but in specific scenarios, the slowdown that he does and his ability can be incredibly helpful. Optimus Prime, when 2.0 first came out, was amazing. But now after the balance changes, he's not as good as he used to be. Still a solid Squaddie because of his ability that can heal your entire squad as he takes damage. Moving on to Tank. Obviously, Tank is still amazing. Tons of health. Massive damage, just a great Squaddie all around. Tank is almost good enough to be in the A tier, but ultimately the other Squaddies that are in that tier are just marginally better enough that it wasn't quite justifiable. But definitely great Squaddie all around. Next up is Heavy. If you've built a squad that has 2 or 3 hotshots and then grab a Heavy, it is absolutely insane. The amount of extra health that you get allows you to just plow through a lot of your opponents. Definitely well worth it. Penny was also recently buffed and is absolutely amazing for getting coins early on if you're running a squad that can be harder to maximize the economy, and is still really good for maximizing kills because of her high damage. Next, moving on to Frank. I sped this clip up because it goes on for a while, but as you can see, anytime a mob hits me in a way that would stun me, anytime he activates his supersonic in a way that should stun me, my squad does not budge. It just stays right there and we keep on moving. That is why Frank is so insane. On to Dynamite. He can be crazy good at the end of the game when you're taking on large squads. Because of his area damage, you can be losing a fight, but then he takes out 5 Squaddies at once, and now you're in a winning position. Next up is Max. When it comes to winning Gem Hunt, being able to outmaneuver your opponents and be significantly faster than them cannot be beat. These Squaddies that buff your entire squad, almost all of them are A tier or above, and Max is no exception. On to Colonel Ruffs. Very simple why he is so good. You start with the fusion, you get an unfused character. Then you get him again and you get another fusion. Get an unfused character, grab him again, get another fusion. It's absolutely crazy. You can get your squad going super fast. I've won many ranked matches solely because I was able to use Colonel Ruffs, get the majority of the bot kills, and soak up the majority of the gems in the first 2 minutes of the round. Trader, obviously still very good. The only reason he isn't S tier, and honestly I almost put him B tier, but I decided he didn't deserve it. The only reason, it's very easy. Just run away when someone gets their Mega Potion. That's it. If you die to someone using a Mega Potion and a Trader, it's kinda on you. That being said, he's still an A tier because he can be very useful. Some of you might fight me on this, but what other character is going to give you 18 coins and 5 gems for every tree you chop down, especially considering how many fetching trees there are on the map? Greg is awesome. Hopefully there's no argument here. B, A tier character, absolutely awesome, especially if you have to deal with a Sonic versus Sonic situation where you're chasing someone down. Those Bs do a lot of extra damage over time, incredibly helpful. Once S tier, now A tier, still a solid Squaddie. We've got Leon. I've seen people ask in the Discord before, does he actually give you that speed and damage boost? Here's your proof right here. Every time I use that burst shot, it's definitely visible. You can see that I speed up compared to before. Just like Trader, before he was nerfed, everyone had to use him or you'd lose. Now it's definitely optional. If your playstyle supports him, use him. If not, if you're not using a hero that blends well with him, don't worry about it. Everyone knows there is only 2 good healers in the game, the first being Poco. Here's 2 tips. If you are running a high damage squad, you're better off with Poco. Or if you're consistently facing opponents with low health squads, you're better off running Poco. We are finally on to S tier. These are the Squaddies that almost everyone uses in the top lobbies in Squad League. However, I still think they're very balanced because personally, I'm only using 2 or 3 of these in my lineups on average. They are not Squaddies that you have to be using every single time. First up, Medic. Absolutely crazy. That passive healing that you get is insane. If you are running squads with high health and lower damage, like Barbarian King or Spike, I would definitely lean towards using Medic over Poco. Greg is good, but Mavis is better. 24 coins and a whopping 8 gems in every single 4 carrot patch. That is absolutely insane. Depending on what you're using, they're both worth it, but if you only get one, get Mavis. Next up, we have Wizard. Some people look at Wizard and say 25% faster recharge on our abilities. You know, what's the difference? You need to think about it in time between abilities. For the log, which we're testing right now, that was 12 seconds without Wizard, but when we have Wizard, it goes all the way down to 8 seconds. Now, for some heroes and squads, that won't matter, but if you're running a squad that needs coin stash, think about how many more coins that is. That's a big difference. Finally, we are on to what is, in my opinion, the best Squaddie in the game right now, Battle Healer. I will show you just how broken this is by doing something incredibly stupid. I'm in a top-ranked lobby, and I'm just going to run through maxed squads. Maxed Royal King squads, maxed Archer Queen squads. I'm just going to run through them. It doesn't matter. Look, I can go through them. I think I might have lost a Squaddie there. I couldn't tell. The first time I ran through the Royal King squad, I didn't lose anyone. Battle Healer is just insane, especially if you're running something like Sonic where you're just relying on being fast and not dying. It is really hard to die with Battle Healer. Definitely, in my opinion, the best Squaddie in the game. Anyway, as promised, let's move on to the final summary. You can see where I would place all the bad Squaddies that I didn't talk about, and I'll give you a little bit of a brief overview from the perspective of a top-ranked player. Alright, here is our final tier list. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you made it this far. Now remember, this is all based on what I see as a top-ranked player in the lobbies that have some of the best players in the world. I've played rounds against all of the people who have been ranked number 1 the last few months, including the American, who is currently ranked number 1 right now. And this is what it looks like. D tier means I never see those Squaddies. They are never used. C tier means that in very rare scenarios, someone has found a niche use for one of those Squaddies, and they are actually able to pull off a second, third, maybe sometimes first place finish if they choose to any in those tier. B tier means I do see them like half the time. They can be good if you know what you're doing. A tier and S tier are the ones that are rampant. They are super good. A tier, I'd say, are balanced. Almost all of S tier, I feel like, are very balanced. I would be a little upset if any of them got nerfed. The state of things right now with the characters in B tier through S tier is really good. The ones in C tier and D tier just need a little bit of a rework. If Supercell manages to pull off a perfectly balanced Squad Busters game, ultimately this tier list will look like a B tier, an A tier, and an S tier, and those C and D tiers will not even exist because all Squaddies will have at least a somewhat niche good use in ranked play. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. If you've made it to this point, that's a good sign that you enjoyed the content and that you would find more videos like this helpful. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can get alerted when the next one comes out. I usually post on Saturdays and Wednesdays with occasional bonus videos throughout the week as I have time. If you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate the support. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.